Is underway from behind the service line, and it's a service error for Molly Wilson in her first action as a Louisville Cardinal. Big groans from the crowd, though. Dan Meskey with a wry smile off the Louisville bench, and he grabs the green card, which draws a big cheer from the crowd. So that one was very close, evidently, and perhaps Molly Wilson.
Louisville's challenging that the ball was in.
Molly Wilson may end up with an ace here. We'll see what the call is here, Steph.
It's fun. Not only do the coaches get to have the ultimate decision on these challenges, but we see players being involved a lot. And this one, being that it's on the opposite side of the court, looked like maybe it was mostly led by the standing crowd for the first point of the match.
Very hard to tell there. I mean, maybe it looks like it hits the line. This might be a little more telling of an angle. What do you think, Steph? I think that catches some of that white.
Still so hard when it's not right down the line, but I would agree. And I think if this ball is called in, we are going to hear this crowd erupt, and it's going to set quite a tone for this match.
That's the face of Carla Bunner there, who will have the task of deciding whether or not this is a point for Louisville or a point for St. John's right out of the gate.
The call is confirmed. Louisville loses a challenge.
And you hear the boos come down from the crowd. It's such a close call here, Steph, and it's a matter of evidence, right? Is there enough evidence to overturn the call? It's so close.
Oh, tough one.
Seemingly not enough evidence to overturn the call.
I mean, that might be the most emotional 1-0 challenge that I've ever seen, though.
What a start. And it's a 2-0 start for St. John's as Jones gets the kill. The do-everything, all Big East setter and right side. Had a terrific performance yesterday for St. John's, leading them with 12 kills. Also had 9 digs and 21 assists. A very busy day for her. There's a block for Louisville. It's Hannah Sherman, and the other change to the starting group that we've yet to mention, Reese Robbins getting her first action of 2025. Those two going up for that block, and Louisville on the board.
Sherman and Robbins create a wall out there against the left side of St. John's.
And Chloe Chicoine, who had 9 kills yesterday, along with 3 digs and a couple of blocks and a couple of assists as well. The Purdue transfer back to serve for the Cardinals. Here's Peyton Peterson, who led Louisville yesterday with 12 kills with her first of this afternoon, and that ties it at 2.
And fantastic in-rhythm set there from Wilson.
And here's Chicoine once again. So Louisville seemingly has found its feet after a couple of early St. John's points. Peterson, a whistle, and that'll go against the Johnnies. And it'll be another point to Louisville, a 3-0 Cardinal run.
And you see Kevin Shelley here in the lineup for the Red Storm as a back row setter, which is allowing Jones to take a swing from the front row and be a true right side hitter in this rotation for St. John's.
Martina Caponcelli, a freshman from Bologna, Italy, who has the bump set there. Cross court to Benjamim, and that is denied by Louisville.
Huge size difference here from Benjamim hitting against Sherman and Robbins. She's gonna have to be a little bit more creative and really challenge high hands in the corners of this double block.
Yeah, Ana Franca Benjamim at 5'10", Reese Robbins at 6'5", Hannah Sherman at 6'3". Here's Jones trying to tap it over that lengthy Louisville block. And here's Benjamim, this time from further back. Robbins. Now Jones, and that's good for Erin Jones. I think she's proven over this Cardinal Classic that she can play at any level. She's done so much over the course of her St. John's career. 3-time All-Big East selection, preseason All-Big East this year. And she is ready to play against the number 4 team in the country.
She's been fun to watch in all the different skills. She's a fantastic setter and a hitter that can get kills in the tough situations.
There's a block for St. John's. Anything you can do, we can also do, they say.
But that's exactly the response that Coach Persico wants from this St. John's team playing in the big match is, hey, how can you hang? What can you match? What can you learn as this match goes on?
Rashani Solano-Smith there back to serve. But it is a service error to give the lead back to Louisville. And now Camden Schramm, who takes over as the starting libero in place of Elena Scott, who graduated last year, serves here with an ace. Schramm, a native Kentuckian from northern Kentucky, has seen pretty significant action as a defensive specialist each of the last 2 years, but now steps into a much larger starting role as the presumptive starting libero for this team. Attack error for St. John's gives another point to Louisville. She's got big shoes to fill.
But she, as you said, she's been prepping for this role all through last season, took a couple times coming in big situations. She's been in the big games and performed at a really high level.
There's the middle, Chloe Bell, a 6'3" freshman from Atlanta for St. John's.
We talked about the setting changes with St. John's. Aaron Jones will be setting now. Caponcelli was setting just a minute ago. And the middles connecting with those setters is something that's gotten better for St. John's over the matches we've seen them play this weekend. And that'll be a big thing here tonight. If they can get Bell and Harris going, that'll really help their offense.
Here's Wilson setting to Robbins, and that's in. The two additions to the starting lineup, two players getting their first action in 2025, combining there for the kill.
And I love that it's the two players. You see Meske making the change tonight and bringing in the right side setter combo. It has been Cabello and Blackshear, and you can tell that these are the combos that they're creating in practice. Will allow the potential for a double sub down the stretch when needed, and really just keeps that combination of two people working together. Great dig from Schramm.
Certainly was. Here's Peyton Peterson. On a Franca Benjamin. Chicoine down for the dig, but it goes right to St. John's. And they pounce Ludovica Zola with the kill.
A great angle there on that outside just led to the easy overpass. Good job of Zola of taking care of business.
Zola, a 6'2" senior from Milan, Italy. Again, a very international roster for St. John's. Brazil, Costa Rica, Italy, all represented. Peyton Peterson, a rising sophomore, as I mentioned, a dozen kills yesterday along with 9 digs, hit over 500 in a very efficient performance in the 3-0 sweep of Morehead State. Here's Chicoine. Too much power from Chloe Chicoine. ABCA Player of the Year watch list in the preseason. And with Louisville ahead by 4, Joanne Persico, they have played out hitting St. John's by 300 points. 364 to 062. And that's been led by Peyton Peterson, who's hitting 500 so far. 3 kills on 6 attempts along with that 1 dig. But she'll want that one back, trying to just get it right over the tape. An inch or two too low, and it's a service error. And for St. John's, freshman Shiloh Clayton from Atlanta comes in here. And she returns the favor. Two service errors either way so far, just the 1 ace for Louisville from Camden Schramm. Here's Ava Utterback, another of the newer faces for the Cardinals. She was with the program last year but didn't see any court action. And auditioning for a bigger role this season. Here's Chicoine.
What a great set there from Wilson. She's running forward and still able to deliver an in-tempo ball just above the block for Chicoine. Great deep corner swing.
All ACC in the preseason for Chicoine as well. One of the biggest transfer portal acquisitions in the country, especially as an outside hitter. Here's Hannah Sherman on the slide, off hands to score. Sherman was immense yesterday defensively. 6 blocks for her, just the 1 kill yesterday in the win over Morehead State.
And that's the role she's in with the 5-1, is she is the more defensive middle, being away from the setter. We see Kara Cressy is going to enter the game here too. Well, she's entering the game in the back row. Sherman's in the front row. She'll come right back out. Cressy will come right back out for the libero. But Sherman is in the more defensive role, being blocking. Cressy is in the more offensive role next to the setter, and she will run a lot more slides, get a lot more sets as the season goes on.
Chicoine able to use the block to her advantage there. It nearly fell inbounds for St. John's Point, but it's on the right side of the line from a Louisville perspective, but it's another kill for Chloe Chicoine. There's a look at Molly Wilson, again making her Louisville debut today. Transferring into a program that had the ACC Freshman of the Year as the presumptive starter at setter. So these kinds of opportunities might be a little few and far between compared to her experience at Washington, where she was the starting setter each of the last 2 years. And oh, by the way, that's for an NCAA tournament team, the Washington Huskies. So a very experienced and talented backup setter this season for Louisville. Here's Erin Jones. Look at Peyton Peterson flying, but it's a kill for Jones.
Great swing by Jones. We said that they have to start challenging that Louisville block. That means going high hands and going off the outside of the block. And then Peyton Peterson, great hustle, tracking that ball down for a touch.
Jones leading the way for St. John's with 3 kills on 5 swings so far. Sherman might come back to her, and instead nobody's there for St. John's. And slow to react to Johnny's.
Sherman proving that she can run that slide just like Cressy. Great job getting out to the pin and contacting that ball high.
Hannah Sherman, a redshirt junior from Silver Springs, Maryland. Had a bigger role last year in conjunction with Cressy, and rated as the passing aspect, right, and serve receive, as you were just saying.
And you'll see Louisville's serve receive. Every single serve receive is made up of Strand the libero, Chloe Chicoine, and Peyton Peterson. And that consistency with the same 3 passers all match can be really helpful.
Wilson getting in there behind the block to keep the ball alive. Here's Reese Robbins back into the game. Peterson finishes for Louisville. 4 kills for her.
And Peterson's able to slice inside. You saw her body fading away towards the outside, and she's still able to go thumb down and slice inside the block.
Peyton Peterson listed at 5'10", but she's got long arms, so that length plays makes her feel a little bit taller on the outside there for Louisville. Attacking error for St. John's, and Louisville starting to develop a large cushion in this first set. The Johnny's just not able to find any rhythm so far.
Lodi enters the match for St. John's on the outside.
They go to the middle with Kaya Harris. Louisville back to Peterson. And this time, the delicate touch. She's had the power on display. This time just taps it right around the block to score.
And that's credit to her contact point and that body positioning we were talking about on the last swing. She's able to get her hips around the ball and really touch that ball from above the block. Hard dig behind the block.
4-0 scoring run for Louisville. Peyton Peterson with a big hand in that as well. And Chicoine there drops it in perfectly. And nothing that Rashani Solano-Smith could do, diving forward to try and get the dig. It's an ace for Chicoine and a 5-0 run for Louisville.
We've talked about Louisville's offense a lot, but 2 things they really pride themselves in a team are blocking and aggressive serving. Every time they step back to that serving line, they have a plan. And that serving plan sets their block up for success. Fantastic solo block from Reese Robbins.
on Lucrezia Lodi for St. John's, the All-Big East preseason selection, a 6'1" senior, also from Italy. Same kind of serve for the third straight time for Chicoine, and this time Erin Jones finishes for St. John's. She's been really the only offensive option they've had so far today. 4 kills for her.
Jones is such a weapon. This is a great set from Caponcelli all the way out to the pin, and Jones finishes fast down the line before the block can close.
We talked about it yesterday with St. John's. Her versatility is an asset, but in a game like today, when you're going up against such a tall and athletic block for Louisville, she might best be used on the outside rather than as a setter, because you need somebody to score, as Reese Robbins does for Louisville there.
And that was the setter right side combination of Molly Wilson and Reese Robbins.
Jones, another terrific attempt, although the whistle for a violation on Louisville. I think that shot may have been in anyway, but it results in a St. John's point regardless.
She hung so long and contacted that ball outside her body, drew the block into the net.
The only player with multiple kills in this opening set for St. John's is Jones. Louisville, conversely, with 4 players, multiple kills. Peyton Peterson just got caught up in the net there, couldn't quite get behind the ball, underneath the ball. And the Johnnies with a little mini run here, albeit they're trailing by 10. And that'll end the mini run. Right off the tape for a service error.
I think Coach Persico will take that, though. Good aggressive serve in a flat line. St. John's has to stay aggressive from the serving line.
Here's Hannah Kinney, who was terrific yesterday for Louisville. 4 aces from behind the service line. Also led the team with 15 digs. And it ends up in a Peyton Peterson block to put Louisville on set point. Hannah Kinney, a true freshman. She's going to be a weapon back there for Louisville this year. That was proven yesterday. Crowd on its feet. And Kinney maybe a little too eager, too aggressive, goes long with that one.
Louisville's 0 for 2 in serving with the crowd on its feet. That takes us back to the 0-1 serve miss challenge.
Yes. Have plenty of chances, though, for a set point here in this one, as Kira Cressy goes crashing into the stanchion. Here's Peterson. First real swing for Martina Getzi. The freshman has been impressive this weekend. Peterson ends it. Louisville holding serve on their home court in this first set. A 12-point gap over St. John.
Offense like Louisville's, but it can also be an opportunity. She's flying around back there, just trying to dig one of these balls from the Louisville offense.
Underway in the second set. And it's a block for the Cards. If Chloe Chicoine at 5'10" can get up like that, you start to wonder what she doesn't have in her game. Tremendous athlete, tremendous leaping ability. This time St. John's goes to the middle, and it's Martina Getzi, beg your pardon, Ludovica Zola who gets the kill. No one reacted for St. John's there on the Reese Robbins swing. Fell just to the left of Martina Caponcelli. And Robbins gets her 3rd kill of the afternoon and of the season.
And Caponcelli is setting right now with Zola playing middle and Jones hitting on the right.
Here's Jones hitting on the right and scoring from the right.
She's able to go inside the block here at a very sharp angle inside the arms of Addison McCoon.
Jones from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 3rd in the Big East in kills last season. Peyton Peterson off the block there. Jones went up for it, and Peterson just slammed it down right off of her hands.
And we talked about St. John's using this match as an opportunity to learn. Love the interaction here from Erin Jones and her coaching staff that we're seeing. She was like, I was a little bit late, right? That can be a very frustrating play when you're going up against outside hitters like Peyton Peterson and Chloe Chicoine, but Jones using the opportunity to learn and get better. That's what you want to see as a coaching staff.
Benjamin gets the kill, and there was a little confusion on what the call was initially. Joanne Persico was off the bench arguing the call, even though it went her way. And Ana Franca Benjamin gets on the board. Her first kill today for a player that was quite busy yesterday as Jones commits the service error there. Benjamin with a dozen kills yesterday. And on the board for the first time now here in set 2. Passing game off here for St. John's, so Solano Smith has the bump, set it over. Here's Chicoine. Cleaner this time from the Johnnies. It results in a Chloe Bell swing. That's well handled by Louisville defensively. Now a chance for the Cards. It's Peterson out of the back row.
And that's something with Louisville having 3 hitting options in 3 of the rotations, and Chicoine playing out of left back. We haven't seen as many back row attacks from Louisville, but this is a rotation where Peterson is in middle back and able to be an offensive weapon from the back row.
Addison McCoon into the match here for Louisville in the middle, number 4, a true freshman who made her debut yesterday terrifically. But it's a Benjamin kill around McCoon, who you see there, to get the Johnnies a 4th point in this set.
An adjustment from St. John's too. When Benjamin was front row now, she's going up against the block of Molly Wilson instead of the block of Reese Robbins, which will allow the St. John's offense to be more effective.
Chicoine. Fourth kill for Chicoine, along with 7 digs to lead Louisville. There's Molly Urban checking in for the first time. Very limited action for her the last 2 seasons. 5 sets last year for Molly Urban, the junior from Martinsville, Indiana, but an opportunity here against St. John's to get some action, and unfortunately hits that one into the net. Here's Chicoine, wound up for that one acrobatically, but a net violation will rob her of the kill. It'll be a point to Louisville nonetheless.
Chicoine went up high here over the triple block from St. John's, found the hands of the middle blocker.
Chicoine still gets credit for the kill, to correct myself. Here she is, more assuredly with the kill. Cross court, blasting it down just inside the line.
And you see St. John's has subbed in Kendall White here to be a bigger block, but Chicoine goes inside, completely avoids that block and takes the sharp angle.
Kendall White listed at 6 feet, a freshman from Peachtree Corners, Georgia, for St. John's, as Joanne Persico tries to find some kind of answer defensively right now. And White getting some coaching from Persico. 32 years of head coaching wisdom there to a true freshman. Chicoine again. Peyton Peterson was active in the first set. This second set has been all Chloe Chicoine offensively for Louisville.
And Louisville firing on all cylinders from that left side. I think Coach Meskey would like to see Wilson be a little bit more dynamic, continue to try to get those middles and right sides involved in the offense.
Getzy the swing. And Getzy off the high hands of the Louisville block, able to get a kill. Martina Getzy, who's been one of the bright spots for St. John's this weekend. She's been busy today defensively with 6 digs. That's her first kill of the afternoon for the true freshman from Milan.
And she played a full match yesterday, too, after not seeing a lot of action on Friday. And as you said, a freshman bright spot for the Red Storm.
Yeah, 12 kills yesterday for her against Auburn after playing just 1 set on Friday in a sweep to Morehead State.
We're going to have a challenge here. The team thought that it landed in. Coach Persico is asking if she can challenge in and touch at the same time, or she has to pick one or the other.
St. John's is challenging that the ball was touched.
So we've had a Louisville challenge on the very first point of the match, and now a St. John's challenge in the second set. Looking at the hands here of Peyton Peterson on the Aaron Jones swing.
I mean, great swing by Jones. Even if it's not touched, that was exactly her goal, was to go high and challenge that block.
Looking if there's any recoil on the right thumb there of Peyton Peterson, perhaps.
Sometimes you can tell by the facial expressions of the players. We can't quite see Peterson there and if she looks guilty or not.
First review, the call stood on inconclusive evidence. You wonder if there's enough evidence this time to prove to be conclusive. Louisville ahead 10-7. Cards significantly out hitting St. John's so far, 559 to 103 in terms of efficiency. Louisville out digging St. John's 16-10, a pair of aces to no aces for the Johnnies. Blocks 5-2, everything going Louisville's way on the stat sheet. We'll see which way this call goes as Carla Bunner has made her decision.
The call is overturned. There was a touch. Point, St. John's.
And evidently enough evidence to give the point to St. John's. So a correct challenge from Joanne Persico. And the Johnnies get a point back. Make it 9-8.
And Aaron Jones hitting .545. She has been an offensive weapon for St. John's, and Caponcelli coming in as that freshman setter and being able to carry a bigger load has really added a spark to the St. John's offense.
Yeah, Jones has been terrific today offensively. 7 for 11. Reese Robbins finding some form herself offensively. 4 for 6 for the junior from Mansfield, Texas. Was all-region honorable mention last year, but has yet to see action through these opening 2 games. This is her 2025 debut. Here's Jones. And Robbins. That off Solano Smith for the kill.
I love the connection between Wilson and Robbins. Wilson is able to feed this ball. It's maybe a little bit off. Reese goes for the deep shot.
Wilson up to 19 assists in her Louisville debut. The transfer setter. As that one goes long. Certainly Nailise Cabello will be expected to start most often for Louisville. But against St. John's, your 3rd match in 4 days for the Cards. Dan Meskey electing to give his transfer back up the opportunity to see some action today. Certainly she's capable, proving that she's capable as well over the course of this afternoon. And this is after Cabello yesterday was outstanding, over 30 assists, called her own number multiple times with 5 kills.
And we saw McCoon and Ava Utterbeck contribute a lot yesterday as well, and that is credit to the depth of this Louisville roster. That's maybe something they haven't had in the past couple of years in their deep runs. It's just that depth, and that depth with playing experience. So love that Dan Meskey has Addison McCoon back in the game, is working the other half of the potential double sub with Molly Wilson and Reese Robbins. This could really pay off down the stretch for them.
There's McCoon on cue. Yesterday, McCoon in her Louisville debut, 3 kills and a pair of blocks. That's her first kill today. A creative shot there from Chloe Bell, reaching over her shoulder with the right hand and able to find success. And St. John's keeping this set a little closer than the first. Peterson. Now McCoon on the slide off hands.
Great communication there from McCoon. She made sure Wilson knew she was an option.
Struggling offensively. Anybody not named Aaron Jones. But things have gotten better in the second set, frankly, for both teams. If you look at those numbers, Louisville hitting over 700 in the second set so far. It's been a much cleaner second set for both teams. Swing there from Barbara Costa dos Santos into the match for the Johnnies. And an attack error from Louisville gives a point to the Red Storm.
And St. John's has also done a good job of using their middle this set. We've seen Chloe Bell get more attempts and be successful.
Ball dipping down. Schrand had to be athletic to reach down for it. And that athleticism leads to an Addison McCoon kill. Big cheers for McCoon as she heads to the bench. Local product from Southern Indiana. And there's Molly Urban again. So here's Solano Smith for the Johnnies, still trailing by 4. Molly Wilson with the left.
One of the things that's been cool to see for the Cardinals today is they really haven't missed a beat offensively with Wilson and Robbins replacing Cabello and Blackshear. Wilson even able to be the aggressive front row setter that Cabello has been last match.
With the missed serve, though, from Wilson. As you see Cabello on the bench, she's got the jacket on. Makes you think that she is not expecting to see action today. So it'll be Molly Wilson's show through the rest of this Monday matinee. Again, a player that's been a starter at Washington the last 2 seasons. Plenty capable of contributing in the ACC, as she does here, setting up Reese Robbins right down the middle.
The one-handed set, get the middle to jump with the setter, open net for Robbins.
6 kills on 9 swings for Reese. Caponcelli, the set to Jones, right into the hands of Hannah Sherman. Getzy cross court, handled by Chacoin. Getzy again. Here's a block for Reese Robbins. Contributing every which way today, Reese Robbins.
Robbins blocks this ball straight down. It almost lands on the center line as it goes down. Amazing.
A team high 4 kills for Reese thus far. Tied for that honor with Hannah Sherman. And St. John's takes a timeout. They've kept it close all set. Louisville, though, extending their advantage to 6. Louisville with the experimentation today, putting Wilson and Robbins into the associate head coach under Danny Busboom Kelly's leadership. So the culture remains, the format remains, and Louisville fans will be hoping that the winning remains the same as well. With Meskey now at the helm, his first season as a head coach at the Division I level. Out of the timeout, Peyton Peterson adds to the Louisville lead. And the Cards now 5 points away from a 2-0 lead as her mom, Bobby Peterson, looks on from the stands. Head coach at Northern Iowa. Robbins, a block for Getzy. Third block today for St. John's.
Getzy was able to reach back into this hole. It was a free ball for the Louisville offense. Robbins expected there to be a hole. Getzy, great block.
Peterson. Double digits now for Peyton Peterson. Give her 11 kills.
You see Jones jumped back into the hole. Peyton Peterson has such great court vision. She's able to see that hole close and take the line.
First player for either side into double figures.
Caponcelli not able to keep that one-hand set on her side.
St. John's can seldom afford mistakes like that if they're going to have any opportunity to make an impact on this match against such an elite team like Louisville. Terrific challenging serve from Camden Schrand. Solano Smith did everything she could to try and keep it alive, diving forward for St. John's, but to no avail. Another, making a big difference, particularly yesterday as they were able to take a set off of Auburn. McCoon for Louisville out of the break. Cards 2 points away from heading to the locker room ahead 2-0. Here's Ben Jamim, who's been quieter today than she was yesterday when she had a dozen kills. But she gets the point here for the Red Storm. Ana Franca Benjamim of Brazil. 3 kills for her this afternoon. Trailing Jones is 7 for the Johnnies. Peterson, off hands. Set point for Louisville. Peterson a game high 12 kills. Crowd to its feet once again as Hannah Kinney will take aim. And it's a block for the freshman McCoon to end the second set. Louisville clicking on all cylinders. So the Cards ahead 2-0. Crowd settles back into their seats. And the third set is underway. What can St. John's do to try and get themselves something in this one? They did take a set off of Auburn yesterday, but they were swept by Morehead State Friday. And 2/3 of the way to suffering yet another sweep here at the hands of Louisville. What do the Johnnies need to do, Steph?
I think passing is the most important. If they can run that offense through their middle and through Aaron Jones on the right side, they're going to be more successful.
Jones, who's been sensational all weekend there, though denied by Louisville's lengthy front row. Robbins off hands for the Cardinals. Reese Robbins building a nice stat line, 7 kills and 4 blocks.
And she has the experience on the big stage as well, playing a big role for the Cardinals down the stretch in the tournament last year.
That one ricocheting all around like a pinball machine. And in the end, it is another point to Louisville. Hannah Sherman with the swing. Sherman's 3rd kill today to go along, beg your pardon, 4th kill today to go along with 4 blocks. 10th missed serve today for Louisville. They've been aggressive. Here's Ana Franca Benjamin. 3 kills and 2 blocks. And a missed serve there.
I think what neither coach wants to see in this third set is their teams get undisciplined or a little bit sloppy. Want to still make sure they focus on the controllables, one being serving.
Might come with the territory, though. 3rd match in 4 days for each of these teams. It's been one-sided so far. You can certainly understand if the focus starts to lack just a little bit. But yeah, you're right. The coaches will certainly be mindful of it. Fully in focus there is Reese Robbins with yet another block. And Louisville out to a quick start in set 3, 5-1. Jones right into the block of Utterback and Sherman. Somehow, though, Louisville able to recover. Wilson, another one-hand set to Sherman. And here's Aaron Jones, a dig from Schrand. But Utterback not able to react quickly enough. And it'll be an Aaron Jones kill, her 8th.
Jones is so dynamic swinging over there on the right side. She does so much for this St. John's team. That rally got a little bit scrappy. St. John's knew if they put the ball up high to the right side, Jones would take a big swing.
It's nice in a match like this to have that safety blanket to know that you can just send it up high and your outside header will make it work. More chaotic defensive volleyball here for Louisville that they're unable to get the ball over successfully. So another point to St. John's, and after a 5-1 lead, the Johnnies with back-to-back points to cut into it here.
A little bit of pinball going on lately.
Overpass from Utterback. Getzy. And off the hands of first Wilson and then Schrand for a Getzy kill. 3rd kill of the night for Martina. As you see Schrand with a wry smile.
And again, you like Getzy learning some different shots, seeing what tools she has to score against this big block of Louisville.
Jones, powerful. Down to the feet of Molly Wilson.
Explosive, powerful, fast, fun to watch. What else can you say about Jones? She is effective over on this right side, just speeding up and beating that block of Hannah Sherman.
It's a 4-0 run for the Johnnies to tie it at 5, and you hear the L&N Federal Credit Union Arena crowd trying to rally this Louisville team out of this 3rd set stupor that they've been in so far. Reese Robbins also doing her best to pull the Cardinals back in front. She's been busy. Up to 8 kills now. That's 2nd behind Peyton Peterson for Louisville today. Making the most of her opportunity to play after not seeing action in the first 2 matches. McCoon up for that block. Robbins again.
And I also like the play of Getzy there. Getzy took that ball down the line so that Wilson had to dig it, but Louisville with Robbins on the right is so effective from that right side.
Terrific shot there from Jones and a good reaction from Robbins. Nearly caught her by surprise, and that set will just fall. And it's a point for Louisville on a St. John's attack error. McCoon.
Credit to Louisville's block here too. Not only was that a kill block, but they've been touching balls pin to pin.
Addison McCoon at 6'3", the freshman. Timeout on the floor. Are playing at home. as has been the case all afternoon today on Labor Day. Cards up by 4 in the third set, looking for another sweep. Would be their 37th of the last 3 seasons if they can pull this off, and their 3rd straight to open 2025. Chacoin sets to Robbins. And Reese has pieced together a 10-kill afternoon in her 2025 debut. It's a 6-0 Louisville run.
And we talked about Chacoin's diversity too. She's the one that fed Robbins that ball. She's actually playing in left back and able to be the secondary setter for the Cardinals in this rotation. If Wilson digs the ball, she'll dig to Chacoin, and Chacoin will run the offense. Talk about versatility. Serve receiving being a huge offensive weapon for the team, and the secondary setter in some rotations.
Again, what can't she do out there? Louisville with another point off the block there. Or rather, a lift violation is what is called here against St. John's.
And this is a play that's become more popular in volleyball, internationally and in college volleyball. The power tip off of the block, not letting there be so much of a throw there. And we've seen that too this weekend with a couple of lifts called on that play.
One of the points of emphasis in officiating this season in American college volleyball, as you pointed out, trying to match the international game. Point here to the Red Storm to end an 8-0 Louisville run. Eight kills, 3 digs for Jones, who serves here. Also has an assist. Just needed some help today. Ana Franca Benjamin right behind her, and Martina Getzi as well with 3 kills apiece. So it's really been Jones and not much else offensively for the Red Storm. Meanwhile, Louisville with 3 players with 5 or more kills, including 2 in double figures, Peterson and Reese Robbins.
And I think that's actually really telling for St. John's that Erin Jones only has 1 assist. She's setting half of the offense for St. John's, and in those rotations where she's setting and not an attacker, the offense has been very quiet.
Well, and if you just look at the assist totals between the two teams, 34 assists for Louisville, just 17 for St. John's, just speaks to the way that these two teams have gone about scoring, and also speaks to the scoring disparity that we've seen. Louisville winning each of the first 2 sets by double-digit margins, and they're ahead 2 touchdowns to 1 right now in the 3rd set over the Johnnies. As Molly Urban comes in with an ace. How about that for Molly Urban? First career ace for Urban. You could falter, or couldn't falter rather, for being a little excited after that. Cutter back. And that one into the net from Utterback for an attack error.
This is going to be a challenge. If this ball touches the block at all, even if it's predominantly in the tape, if it touches the block, then it is not for contacts from Louisville.
Ava Utterback from Plainfield, Indiana. Didn't play last year in her first year in the program.
Challenging a block touch.
And we talked about coaches wanting the team to maintain consistency. I like the coaching staff maintaining some consistency too. This is a ball that they would challenge in a tighter match down the stretch, and so they're doing the same now in these early season matches.
Pretty clearly
there was a touch on the block. That is a replay. Louisville retains their challenge.
So the point will not count, and it'll just be a replay of the point, as you heard Carla Bunner say. Pretty clear evidence there and a very quick review. Job well done by all around, including Dan Meskey for going to the green card and the officials for that quick review.
And it's not a point because the whistle stopped play and shouldn't have. So that's why it becomes a replay.
So it's a mulligan.
Do-over.
And Utterback trying to take advantage of the do-over. Great recovery and reaction from St. John's twice there on the swing from Utterback and then McCoon. Not that time, though. It's Molly Wilson with the left again, the setter.
Wilson able to sneak in an easy point here. Sees that no blocker is paying attention to her. Ball straight to the floor.
The last thing you want to see if you're playing against Louisville is a confident setter that can score on her own, as if Louisville needs any more weapons. Overpass from Schrand. Chance here for St. John's to get something clean, and they go to Getzy, Utterback, and Urban. Great reactions, but it is going to be a point. As a matter of fact, that was Lucrezia Lodi with the swing and the score, despite the effort and intensity of Louisville defensively.
And we did see Schrand overpass that ball, but Louisville's also working on trying to get the ball up to the net for those aggressive front row setters in Cabello and Wilson that you were talking about.
McCoon. Here's Lodi once again. And Alana Bankston into the game for the Cardinals. McCoon aiming for that back corner with the right hand. Off target.
She got a little bit out in front of the slide there.
Sixth missed serve for St. John's as compared to 11 for Louisville. This is her first action of 2025. Third year in the program. Bankston and Sherman up for that block. Here's Lodi on the St. John's left. Urban the bump set and Bankston the swing. Was it deflected? It was not. Bankston looking to the bench for some help, but no reaching for the challenge card from the part of Dan Meskey, so that point will stand for St. John's. Martina Caponcelli, the freshman Italian, back behind the service line here.
Which also brings Aaron Jones to the front row as an attacker.
That one off the chest of Schrand. Bankston able to score. Louisville trying to close this out with a different look lineup, getting some players some action early in the season. Alana Bankston, one of them. Junior from Omaha, who has seen limited playing time. 7 matches last year, 11 sets. As a freshman, I should say. A couple of seasons ago. There's Hannah Sherman winning the joust.
Yeah, she was able to get her hands on that ball early while it was still on St. John's side of the net and really joust.
Jones off the block. Again, she's been so impressive this weekend, what she's been able to do. Carrying the biggest offensive load for the Johnnies today, especially. That's her 10th kill into double digits.
It's been fun to watch her as a leader, too, out there, just really talking to all the freshmen, really helping Caponcelli feel comfortable when Caponcelli's in the setting role, and it's just a fun player to watch.
That one out off of Robbins, much to her frustration. Some of the crowd thought she had a block there, but
this ball went down fast off of Getzy's swing, but Getzy's going for that hole. Robbins gets it with her inside hand.
Here's Bankston. Had to hang in the air a little bit longer for that one than she intended. Getsy the swing for St. John's. Reese Robbins. Terrific dig from Solano Smith back there. And a block for the Johnnies. Erin Jones doing a little bit of everything today, as she typically does.
And great defense on both sides, not just getting the ball up, but getting the ball in the system for their offenses.
10 kills, a .348 hitting percentage, 4 digs, 2 assists, and a block for the all-everything Erin Jones. Alana Bankston that time tooling the block to her advantage, giving Louisville a 20th point in this third set. And she gets a hand from her teammates as she heads to the bench. Except Calissa Blackshear, left her hanging there.
She chased her down.
Blackshear, the terrific freshman who's gotten tons of action in the first 2 matches, but gives way today for Reese Robbins' opportunity, which she has taken full advantage of with 10 kills. Here's Jones. Utterback. And Jones again. What a reaction from Chicoine for Louisville. A good rally between these two right now. Jones once more. Lodi the reaction. Jones again scores, this time for St. John's. They may not come out of here with a win, but that is the kind of point that will build confidence moving forward in the season, that this team has what it takes to compete against some of the best in the country.
And a highlight set within that rally from Caponcelli, too, on that second attack by Jones. Caponcelli was able to reverse the court and set that ball about 22 feet back to Jones.
Utterback. Precise for Ava Utterback. Her first kill today.
And we talked about the depth of Louisville. Utterback stepping right in with the same type of swing, type of play as Peyton Peterson and Chloe Chicoine.
Player that had over 1,000 kills in her high school career for Plainfield High School in Indiana. An All-American watch list player as a senior. No action last year for this Louisville team, but as you've mentioned, Steph, providing a depth option for Dan Meskey with what she's been able to do. Another kill for her there.
And she has that same ball control, multiple shots, but that same spunk when there's any event where we see teams, high-level teams play each other that have also had the time to scout each other.
And oh, by the way, worth mentioning, that rematch with Texas, a rematch of the 2022 national title game, where Louisville finished as national runner-up. 2 national runner-up finishes over the last 3 seasons for the Cardinals. Ava Utterback continues her personal scoring run. And Chicoine getting some of the plaudits as well. But it's Utterback's swing. And a 3-0 personal scoring run for Utterback here to put Louisville 2 points away from a sweep. Jones ends that run and continues her terrific day. 12 kills now. Still the only St. John's player in double digits. And the only St. John's player hitting 300 or better. Too much for Chicoine to handle. It's an ace.
By who else than Erin Jones?
You didn't even need to ask. The way it's gone today for St. John's, she has been the beacon of hope. Two players went for the set there, Chicoine and Wilson. A little out of sorts, but Louisville let off the hook there with an attack error from St. John's. And the Cards on match point now.
We're going to have a challenge here that there was a touch on the block.
St. John retains their challenge.
So there you go. The
And
margin.
you reward your freshman outside hitter, Getzy, with a point in that moment, in a big moment.
The margin down to 5. Joanne Persico with a run of successful challenges in this one now. A little awkward from Chicoine. Schrand with an overpass. Good reaction from Wilson. And a block. McCoon. She looks like she could be a player for this team. Come more impactful matches down the weeks based on what she's been able to do on this opening weekend for Louisville. The fans urging them on to a third straight sweep to open the Dan Meskey era. Here's McCoon, not quite able to finish it. Maybe not the contact that she wanted on that swing. Utter back. And McCoon finishes this time.
We're going to have a challenge.